Hello everyone, my name is Shafat Said and you are watching Tech Team. In the last video we learned about two variables, which if I show you that we wrote one program. So we discuss about the hello world program, and in the other project we discuss about the numbers var x is equal to 50. So these are actually two types of variable which we did in the last tutorial. So in this video we will learn about the other variable and types also. So I have written a small tutorial to understand what a Java variable is. A variable is a container which holds the value. So I will explain this later on, that a variable holds the value in memory. So there are different types of variable in Java. Okay, like in the previous video we said something, variable x is equal to 50. So variable is a type, x is a name, and 50 is a value. So this value is a number value. So similarly this is also a variable type, name and value. So we can say that we can represent a variable in Java by giving the type, then the variable name. Variable name can be anything, x, y, z, whatever, and the value. Similarly, so these are the variables of type number. Similarly, whatever is in the double quotes, it's a variable of type string. So this is a type, this is the name, and this is a string value. So inside the quotes you can have any string value. So this is a variable type, the d is a name, and this is the string value. So in Java there are different type of variables. For example, there is a string variable, so we can give values like hello world, which we already did in our previous tutorial. And so two variables we already did was string and int. So like for example, int can have the values like 12, 13, minus 12, minus 13, and so on, 1, 2, 3, whatever. And float can have the value with a decimal point like 12.99, 12.1, 13.90, minus 13.80. So character like string value is always given in double quotes. So character value is always given in single quotes. Character A, B, X, Y, Z. And the last variable type is Boolean. It can only have a value true or false. So now in our program we said that variable, this is a new feature in Java. So in the old versions of Java we used to write a variable. For the number variable we used to write int x is equal to 50, because this is a variable of type integer. So this is the type, name and value. So this is also a variable of type number or integer. So we will give its type as int, then name y, and value 60. Okay, now what do you say, what kind of variable is this? If we see what kind of variable is this, okay, string. So we can also write as string a equals to hello with double quotes. Double quotes. Okay, so this is the type, the variable name. This is the type, variable name, and the value. So this is also a string, so we would say something like string d, the d, and it has a value. Great. Okay, so okay, that's fine. So we will represent some other variables like float. So this is a variable of x. For the float variable, we also can say something like for var. So the name you can give anything like ABC. So it can be anything. So for the float variable, we would say 50.5, or we can also define float as the, we have to say the type float AB is equal to 50.5, and then we have character. So we can also say something like var c is equal to, so character, string is in double quotes and character is always in a single quote, a c is equal to a. So this is the variable. So you can name anything like c, y, c, z, whatever. So name can be anything, or we can also, because this is of type char, so we would say as char cz is equal to a. And final, we would say var xy is equal to true. So this is of type boolean, so it's we could also say it's something like type is equal to boolean xy is equal to true. So we will create a small program, and we will write all this variable, and then we will print into the console and see the results. So just to summarize what I said is, in the previous Java version we used to write like this: int x is equal to 50, but with the newer version we replaced all these int, string with the one type, which is var. So the compiler actually automatically understands that this, with the value it understands it is of type integer. So the compiler understands this is of is of type string, and AB is of type float because of the value. So whatever the value you pass on to a variable, the compiler understands what type to assign to this variable. So I will not go into too much detail because actually my tutorials are for the beginners. So I just want to all the beginners, kids, and who are just beginning with Java to understand very clearly. My nephew who is 10 years of age is also following my videos. So I want everyone, other kids, to follow my videos and understand, and also the beginners to follow my videos and understand the concept. So that's why I'm not trying actually to make the things difficult. I'm trying to make it as easy and understandable for all of you. So actually now we will write a new project in which I will try to print all the variables which I just explained now, and we can say Java with and we can say something like Java all variables. Sorry, you can say something like, okay, Java with and this is Java application, and next we can say all variables. You can say finish. Okay, then now what we gonna do is we gonna simply say okay, so what I said in var a is equal to, first thing we gonna do is we gonna pass first variable was of integer, so var a is equal to 10, and if you remember from my explanation, I will define another integer, so okay, so oh yeah, so the thing is that if you see here, you can see a red line. What it is saying that and if you point out here, what is saying, variable is already defined, so you cannot have two names in one program. You cannot have two names. Like I already defined a variable of type, a variable of name A, so you cannot have another variable with the same name, so it should be some other name like B, C, D, whatever. So if you because the name, whatever the name you give, so the computer memory holds the value for it. So if you try to say A is equal to 10, and then again you would say B is equal to 10, B is equal to 20, so it will get, if you say A is equal to 20, so the compiler will complain that you are defining two variables of the same name. Okay, so these are integers, and then was string. So all the variables we can give the same type, like var a. So this is the new feature of Java, so that's why it becomes easy. Otherwise we have to all the time we used to give a different variable type. So now we would like to have a string. Okay, if you remember for the, oh yeah, again I have made the mistake, so I should give a different name, ABC. Okay, that's good. And now I want to define, if you remember what, so this is a string. So how can we define another string? Is like I want to define another string with var d is equal to world. Okay, so but I would like to have the type as string. So it's actually whether you can give string, the type, you can variable type, you can give string or var. So the compiler will automatically know that it is of type string because of this value. So similarly, we can have integers, string, we can have like character var e is equal to character, what would you say, single quote a. So e is holding a value of a. So what is the second way to define a character is this character ef is equal to, so we will give the same value and you can also give the different values. So character, and the next was float with the decimal. So you have integer with the numbers and whole numbers, and we have float. But as I said, we can have the same type so now we will define another float. So this is the type, and the name is age, and we can also give the same value or the different value. So 10.20. okay, so variable, this is a variable of float is, we have to define, we have to write f at the end, or otherwise we would say double k, we can say k is equal to 1.2. so I will explain, and then later on the difference between float and double. For now you can just understand that for the if you are defining a variable of type float, you can say 1.2f, you have to write f at the end, f stands for float, or double k is equal to 1.2. But with if you say something like variable g is equal to 10.10, then you don't have to write anything. So the last variable which we are which is var I is equal to 2. So what I told that it is of type boolean, z is equal to false. So we will print all these variable. Normally what I do is println, you can simply do this and just copy this line and control C and just paste all the things so that you don't have to repeat it again and again. So actually there are some lot of variables. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. So we have to print 11 lines, something okay, yeah, that's fine. So we would say a, for a it would print 10, for b it would print 20, for c it would print hello, for d it would print world, E it would print A, for F it would also print A, for G it would print 10.10, for H it would print 1.2, and for K it would also print 1.2, and for I it would print true, and for Z it would print false. So we're gonna run this. First we save this, and right click on your project and just simply press run, and it should print all what we just discussed. Okay, yeah, you can see that for this A it has print 10, for B 20, for C hello, for D world, for E it print A, and for F A G for 10.1, 1.2. so it has print all the values, and see the boolean values true and false also. So this is all for the variables type. So as we move on to the next videos, I will explain the more advanced concepts later on. So I would not go into more details. For the beginners it would be difficult to grasp the concepts, so just try to write as many variables with different names, with different types, and print the variables onto the console and see the results. And please don't forget to subscribe the channel.